This week on Dude Stuff.
Right guys, what is going on? So exciting day for me today. I am upgrading my 2020 Yamaha MT-09 with all the goodies that you see before you. So I've also got a collaboration coming up this week with a company called Ride Vision on a really exciting safety product, which I think is about the best thing you can get for a motorbike safety. But before I get into that video this week, I need to fit a new set of bars. Now, starting off with the first upgrade, we're going to be putting on these Pro Taper black motocross handlebars on the MT-09 today, hopefully. Along with the Pro Taper handlebars, you're going to be fitting these ASV C5 shorty gold levers to complement it nicely. Now, the thing I like about all the upgrades today, they're not just about aesthetics, they're also about making the bike perform better or be more ergonomical or nicer to ride. So there's a mixture of goodies today that are all going to improve the rideability and the looks of the bike. Alongside those other goodies are the handlebars. I'm also doing a chain and sprocket upgrade. As you can see, the sprocket and chain on there, even though the bike's only done 3,000 miles, looking a bit worse for wear. Got a bit of rust on the chain. Sprocket's looking old crusty. It doesn't go with the rest of the bike, which is super clean. So I've gone for a Supersprox rear sprocket. For those that don't know, a Supersprox rear sprocket is aluminium on the inside of this gold part. This is gold and black, and the black bit around the edge of teeth is steel. So it's a kind of compromise of the best of both worlds with weight reduction and having plenty strong enough teeth that they're not going to get sheared up. Now, the front sprocket is a 16 tooth as standard. We're going to be putting a 15 tooth Afam front sprocket on it. Don't know if that's how you pronounce it, I presume it is. That should give you sort of shorter, snappier gears. I don't think I really need it, to be fair, because there's no shortage of power and snappiness on this bike, but oh well. That's what we're going with. And, oh, I haven't brought it out, one sec. I did bring it out, but it had blown off in the wind because I've taken the chain out of the box. But we've got this D.I.D X-ring chain, 525. That's in black and gold. We've got the black and gold sprocket, upgraded front sprocket, and we've got the gold front brake levers with the black Pro Taper handlebars. Apart from actually improving the rideability and performance and handling of this bike, I'm also hoping it improves, well, I'm certain it will improve the aesthetic look of this bike, which is a bonus. The handlebars have got a bit of a rise in the standard ones, which is all right if you're tall. I'm only 5'6", so I mean, I'm absolutely fine on the bike. I can ride it all right, but I just think it will improve the riding position of the bike. I love the fact that it's got this little black and yellow Pro Taper logos both sides. That should look really nice, with obviously the effects of the bike being black and yellow. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So I may get a bike shop to do the chain and sprockets just for time's sake, so I can get this done today or by tomorrow. But today I've got to do this in one hit. I've also bought, see, the problem is I've got a workshop which I'm halfway through building, which is all right for building e-bikes. I haven't got indoor space for doing projects on the Yamaha, and the weather's been absolutely rubbish. So I've bought this, what is it? I think it's a Hercules 50mm hex-legged gazebo, and it's absolutely massive, but it's going to be perfect for me doing projects, because if I get all the tools out, get the camera out, start doing the vlog, and now in England it starts raining 5 minutes later, it really puts me off of doing projects on the motorbikes. And now hopefully with this gazebo, I'm just going to be able to smash out some really sick projects. So if you're not already subscribed and haven't got the notifications bell selected, make sure you do that, because I've got some really good projects coming up on this. And like I said, this project that I've got coming up after all these goodies is even more exciting, because I do believe it's probably the best safety product that you can get for people that ride motorbikes on the road. Possibly even e-bikes. You could probably fit onto an e-bike, but you need a 12-volt battery system. So anyway, I'm going to try and get this smashed out, all of these bits, in this video. And if you're subscribed or got the notifications on for the channel, you'll also see this Ride Vision kit, which is absolutely amazing. It's a really good bit of kit, and I'm actually really excited to do the Ride Vision video after this one, because I think it's the best product you can buy for safety on a motorbike, pretty much. It's definitely up there with the best things you can buy for safety. However, I'm more than happy to promote this company's product, because looking at their YouTube channel, they haven't got loads of followers, you know, loads of views, but I think this product is vastly underrated and known about, so keep your eyes posted for that video. Right, without further ado, let's get on to fitting these bars. Now, the things I envisage being a bit of a pain in the arse a day, probably getting the grips off with an airline, but I'm sure I'll cope with that. Have to drill and taper out the end of these, and I haven't got a workbench and vise. I'm going to have to drill and tap and die the end of these for the bar ends. Also, you have to drill holes for the, I think of the clutch or the brake. It's got some mounting location holes in the standard bars. So I'm going to have to remove all the old ones, cut these down to a similar length, drill the holes in exactly the right location, which is going to be pretty tricky to do. Tap and die the end of these bars, but I think once these are on, these are going to look an absolutely amazing upgrade. I'll give you a quick look of how the sprocket and chain looks at the moment as of before, and the handlebars with the standard levers, and then we'll show obviously an after by the time I've got everything fitted to it. Just thought you might want to feast your eyes on them absolutely gorgeous short levers. Apart from actually feeling better and being more ergonomical, they've obviously got the anti-snap so it flips backwards, so they're supposedly somewhat unbreakable, but they're just going to look amazing against the black bars. As you can see, the old sprocket and chain, the chain's starting to look a bit on the rusty side. Yeah, I could probably clean it up and maintain it, but I want to stick something fresh on there. Sprocket as well, looking a bit old and crusty and oxidized. Don't really want to bother clearing it up. I just want to get some nice freshies on there. As you can see from this side of the bike, silver bars don't really go with the bike. They're quite a high rise on them, so probably be ergonomically a bit more comfortable with the black Pro Taper bars, and they're just going to look so much fresher on there. Now, I do have some aftermarket levers already on there, but for those of you who might have saw in a video, I parked this in a car park and some idiot reversed into it, drove off. I'm not going to get too far into it, but the police never did anything about the driver going off. The insurance refused to pay out because they reckoned it'd be less than the excess to fix all the damage. So anyway, this lever's bent. Despite being a flip up lever, they're not quite as nice as the ASVs. It's all scratched up, it's bent. It's just going to look a lot fresher, everything's going to look a lot nicer, so I'm going to get straight on to stripping the bits down off of this. So probably going to start with the bar ends, then I'm going to have a little fight with the hand grips before taking all the rest of the controls off. And then once I've got the bars,
I've never seen anyone else do it this way. I mean,
accessories off, I'm going to whip the bars off, and we're going to compare it to the Pro Tapers and all the minor fabrication stuff we've got to do, like cutting them down,
the clamps and scratching
them
maybe,
the ends, drilling the holes, etc.
Seems to be holding good so far.
I'm going to get straight into it. Right guys, so bars are finally off. Now comes the tricky part of drilling some of the holes in the bars and tap and dyeing the end of them. So I'm going to have to get a new bunch of tools out ready to take care of that, and I'm just going to show you the bars quickly and the difference between the standard Yamaha MT-09 bars and the Pro Taper Evo Carmichael bars. So as you can see, the standard bars sitting behind the Pro Taper, they're quite a different shape. The Pro Taper bars are wider, they've got a lower rise on them, and they just look a million times better than the standard bars. So it's a pretty cool upgrade. It's just going to take a lot of little bit of tricky work, especially without a proper bench and vise, so we're going to have to make do with our own kind of concoction of a workbench and vise. So I'm going to have a rummage through my shed now and pull out some bits and start marking up where I've got to cut these bars and where I've got to drill some holes and figure out a way to clamp these down so I can do some modifications. How much better are those going to look once they're on the bike? Let's get to work. Right, I've been rummaging in the shed and I've also been down the hardware store. I've got some hand clamps which I'm going to have to use as a replacement for a bench vise. Some WD-40 for the drilling and tapping as a bit of lubricant. Some masking tape to mask up where I've got to do the holes and various bits. A selection of files. Going to cut the bars down with a hacksaw. Got a vernier for measuring where to drill the holes and a hand drill, and hopefully that should be enough. So let's start putting the bars together and seeing where I've got to, you know, let's figure out where to mark the location for the holes. On the standard Yamaha bars, we've got one hole here. I've got a selection of drills, so I'm going to figure out what size hole that is before drilling it, but first things first, marking out location. Don't know if you can see that, I've got two holes here, one hole on the other side. So first things first, going to do before marking that position is actually cut down the bars to probably the same width, maybe a couple of mil longer than the standard. Right, I've leant the bars up against, on their end, on the floor up against my house, and the lower mark is the standard bars, the higher mark is the new bars, so there's quite a bit of difference. I'm going to cut these down to the shortest mark, which is 1.0 on the bars. I still think that's going to be a couple of centimetres wider than the standard ones, but I think that'll probably be absolutely fine at the moment. I haven't measured, but that looks about a 12 centimetre difference, so I'm going to cut, I don't know, roughly about 5 centimetres off. It's the 1.0 mark you'll see in a moment off the bars. Right, so here we have it, guys. Here's my workbench and vise of choice. It's a really heavy old wooden garden chair with a couple of hand clamps. I mean, if it does the job, it does the job. You do what you can do with the tools you've got, and hopefully this should be okay. There we go, one side cut. Guys, I don't know if you can see that, it's pretty much 1.0 on the button. It's close enough to make do. So I'm going to do one end of the bar at a time. I'm actually going to have a go at, so you have to drill the bar out a little bit wider on the internal diameter before running the tap into it. Don't know if I've been given the wrong size on the internet, because that seems to go in and out with no problem without even drilling it. Oh well. Let's give it a little spin up in there. Might just need to take the paint off. Well, I would say, from watching another video, he said get a 9/16 drill end, so unless they've made the internal diameter smaller, that already goes in. Let's just hope we can tap it without having to drill it out with a drill bit that I don't actually have. I'm wondering, what's it? I don't know if you can see it on the camera then, but really struggling with this now. Bolting it to a garden chair with plastic hand clamps just ain't cutting it. So I've had the genius idea of putting these back on the bar clamps on the bike. I'm not sure if this is going in straight or if it's working, but I'm going to keep going and see what happens. Yeah, this is definitely working way better than a garden chair. Didn't know why. I've never seen anyone else do it this way. I mean, if you ain't got a work vise or a bench, obviously you've got a small chance of the bars rotating in the clamps and scratching them maybe, but seem to be holding good so far. Gonna have one last clear out and then try and go a few more turns in. Or I could actually, to be fair, I could just try the bar end as it is. Put my hand there so the camera's got something to focus on. I'm not sure if you can see the thread in there. Give it a little squirt and a little blowout inside. I have to wash my bike, WD everywhere. Not sure if that thread's any good, but let's try a bar end. Oh, we're halfway in. Go on, go the whole way. Haha! Yeah! One side done. Let's take it out again. Oh my god, I've got to do that all over again. The joys. the idea of using the motorbike as an actual workbench and clamp is actually genius. Bar clamps obviously hold handlebars way better than actual vices do, so I don't know, I can't see any issue with doing it myself. Do it at your own risk, but I found it really useful. So I've got to do the same all over again on the left hand side now. So I'm actually going to leave the bars on the bike and I'm going to try and hacksaw it, file it, and tap the thread in the other side using the bike as a workbench. So I'm not actually going to video this bit because you've already seen the other side, but I'll let you know if it was a success. Right, there's about 7mm, 7 or 8mm each end, so I'll probably cut them about 1.5 centimeters longer than the standard bars, which I don't think's much. I can't see that being an issue. So now what I've got to do is get these the right way round, figure out how to put that hole in exactly the same location. I'm probably going to mark the hole the same depth in. My verniers are long enough, aren't they? They are for that hole. So I've got to mark that hole, and then where's the other two? Oh, they're on the back there. That's quite a long way away. I don't know if my verniers are long enough for that. No, we're good. Right, that shouldn't be an issue then. So I'm going to do a lot of measuring now and try and figure out where to mark the holes. Probably going to put a bit of masking tape around it. Just draw like a mark with a pen where I've got to drill this hole and 2 on the back here. Right guys, so I basically ran out of time yesterday. I didn't get it 100% finished, and I've booked it in at, as you can see behind me, Benfleet Motorcycles, which is my local motorbike garage. The chap here has already fitted the chain and sprocket. I'm going to show you in a minute, and I'm getting him to do the ASV levers because I ran out of time. Just want the bike done now, otherwise this video is going to be like 1,000,000 years long. And we're going to go out, show you the bike, and then maybe take you out for a quick ride and see how the 15T sprocket feels, the bars with the lower rise in them, and yeah, see how it looks and feels. Right guys, what do you think? How much better does that look than it did before? I mean, I could put up on the screen now how the sprocket looked yesterday, which you've already seen, but there is actually another MT09 over here, so that is pretty much identical to how my chain and sprocket looked. And there you go, the Supersprox sprocket and the D.I.D chain. It looks so much better. You have to excuse the hand grips, but what do you think of the Pro Taper black bars? I've butchered a pair of motocross hand grips for now, just to put something different on there, but I don't really like them that much. But it's a quick, simple changeover later. But look at those levers. Them ASV levers look so much better. And the little Pro Taper logo on the bars. Right, gonna love and leave Aid, the mechanic, to get on with his work, and we'll take this for a little ride. Right guys, all done for the parts on this. I'm still probably going to be tinkering with a few bits on like especially the clutch lever after riding it home. Basically the shorty levers, which I haven't had before, and I'm used to using 2 finger control, and where the clutch perch was, it was 3 fingers. So I've like wiggled it further down the bars, but it's on like the curve of the drop of the riser of the bar, so it's kind of put it at a weird angle. So I need to tinker around a bit with that till I'm really happy with it, but it's all up and working. It looks really nice. I just need to spend a bit of time with it really, and having a little bit of an adjustment with the controls, just make sure I'm happy with them. Not overly happy with the grips that I put on it. I don't know why I butchered up some motocross grips, but they do the job for now. I'll just get something a bit nicer on there later, but really happy with the chain sprocket. Really happy with how the bars come out. Yeah, the levers are looking amazing, but obviously I just need to settle in with a bike and make some adjustments here and there. But I hope you enjoyed watching this little video on these upgrades. Don't forget to check out the video coming soon. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notifications, because I've got the Ride Vision kit coming up this week. So that's why I wanted to get the bars done, because I'm going to be running all the loom down the handlebars for that kit. But anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in a video soon. Take it easy.